Parties are not for me. I need to be at home with a cock in my mouth. Like, I cannot do this. This is too much. I'm not with the ratchets. I'm not with the hood shit. I'm a princess. Like, like
I just went on a date with a man who flew from a different state to go on a date with me. He literally flew from a different state to travel to LA for one day to go on a date with me. He's tall, he's rich, he's handsome. He's a catch of a guy on paper. And somehow the topic of handbags came up. Like he commented on my handbag. Like, that's really nice. And then he told me about his ex-wife's handbags. He's like, yeah, I bought her all these handbags. She's got like $400,000 worth of handbags. I don't know if he said 400,000, but it was a lot of money. This guy's got money. And that's neither here nor there. But I was like, yeah, ha ha ha. And he was like, yeah, maybe I will buy you a bag when we're married. And I said, wait, you would only buy me a handbag if we were married? And he was like, yeah, I just feel like doing it anytime before is just giving desperate. First of all, sir, you spent like $30,000 on a private flight for just yourself to come here for a day to go on a date with me. And you think that buying a $4,000 handbag is like coming off as desperate? Secondly, you flew from a different state to go on a date with me. Is that not giving desperate? He's like, I'm a good looking guy. I don't have to do all that. I'm like, okay, then why did you fly to a different state to go on a date with me? If you don't need to do all that, then why did you have to do all that? Anyway, I didn't argue with him on it. I was just like, okay, I don't agree, but whatever. That's your life. And he immediately started like retracting. He's like, well, maybe it's your birthday. Well, maybe if it's, but don't you think that, like, listen, dude, I think that these men are a little traumatized because y'all, I hate to blame you guys, but I think if women started sprinkling men and not knowing and like fucking the game up because y'all don't know the game. And now these men are on like uber high alert, which isn't anything. People say shit all the time they don't mean, but it just turned me off so much. I was like, sir, it was never giving desperate. It was giving effort. It was giving effort. He said, well, you got to bring something to the table. Sir, I'm 20 years younger than you. What would you like me to bring to the table? Your AARP membership?
She's the one laughing, but doesn't realize the joke is on her. She's 30 and still thinks that dating 50-year-old men with money makes her the prize. This is the typical story of, I turned down the millionaire because he said something I didn't like, as if she had endless options. Seriously? You're bothered that a guy who spent $30,000 to fly out and see you says a $4,000 purse is something he'd only give his wife? So what did you expect? To be rewarded just for existing? The conversation made one thing clear. She brings nothing to the table, yet demands to be treated like a queen. He told her, you have to bring something. And her answer was, I'm 20 years younger than you. That's her entire offer. That's how low standards have fallen. The guy clearly saw she was just in it for the money, that she had nothing to offer. It's obvious the women ruined everything on that date. But at least it woke up more men, because for a woman to be treated like a queen, she has to qualify for the king first. Just a drizzle, just a drizzle.
Women.
How do you guys feel about coffee dates? I'm very new to this whole coffee date thing. Somebody for the first time invited me on a coffee date. But let me tell you about it, because I don't even know how I feel about it. I mean, I do, but yeah. So this guy invited me out. We were talking. Conversation was flowing great. He says, I want to meet you in person. I'm like, oh, yeah, me too. He says, let's go on a coffee date. I'm like, I don't drink coffee. And I really don't. I have stomach issues, so I can't drink coffee. So I said to him, I don't drink coffee. He's like, oh, they have other options there as well. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, to me, it defeats the purpose of going to a coffee shop, but whatever. I just said, I guess. He says, oh, you're not into coffee dates? And I'm like, honestly, no. I've never been, and nobody has ever invited me on a coffee date before. And he says, well, I still want to go. So I ended up not saying no and had other plans. Fine. So he reaches out to me again another day, and he still mentions the coffee date, and I'm like, I didn't respond at that point. So today he says to me, I want to meet you in person. Let me take you out. Let's go out Friday night. He asked, are you available Friday night? I look at my calendar, and I am, and I said, I guess so. And he says, what time can you? And can, you want to meet there, or can I pick you up? I was like, we can meet there. And he says, okay, so we're meeting here. And when I look up at the place, I've been there before. It's a very tiny place. Probably has like 4 tables. They have coffee there. It's like a small bakery. And this is a place where I go when I want Colombian empanadas that I've been to pick up Colombian empanadas. To pick up. Like usually people go pick up stuff and leave. He says too, oh, if the weather is good, we can go for a walk. Mind you, it's Friday night in a park on a Friday. At this point, I didn't respond because honestly, and I'm gonna be completely transparent. I'm a very chill woman, very easygoing. I'm usually down for anything. I take myself on free dates. I go on solo dates all the time. I just feel like in general, it's so low effort, especially if you knew that I wasn't into a coffee date. So why would you keep pushing it? It's so low effort. I put myself more effort into my dates than this guy is. And he wants to meet me in person and get to know me better. I guess he's not going to.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
She's talking about a first date, a chance to get to know each other, to see if there's chemistry. Yet she expects the man to take her to a 5-star restaurant, just because she treats herself to better dates. That's not interest in the man. That's interest in the restaurant. And of course, in the Instagram photo where everything will appear, except the sponsor. Because if you truly want to get to know someone, the important thing is the conversation, not the menu. And of course, she complains that the place was small, a bakery with 4 tables, even though she's been there herself to buy empanadas. She says she takes herself on better dates. So then why accept a date with someone if it's not what you want? Because if that same man had taken her to a luxury restaurant, she still wouldn't have split the bill, still wouldn't have shown real interest. She would have just enjoyed the luxury and then rejected him anyway. That's why I say, brother, don't fool yourself. It doesn't matter if you take her somewhere expensive or cheap. If she's not into you, the result will be the same, equal opportunity rejection.
I manifested over 6 figures without ever lifting a finger. This entire world is built around the construct of a work hard, play hard mentality. Baby, why not just play hard, do what you love, and be rewarded for it and get every single thing that you want? And I'm going to talk quantum physics to you. I'm going to talk science. Quantum physics and science, really learning it, absolutely has changed my life. Every single thing in this world is an energetic frequency. Me picking up a water bottle, energetic frequency. Driving a Porsche down a road, energetic frequency. $5, energetic frequency, and $30 million. Energetic frequency. It's all energy. Baby, you don't got to break your back to get above. You do not have to put your mental health, your sanity, your happiness, your peace at risk to get what you want. And you definitely don't have to work 372,000 hours in a week to get what you want and barely get by still at that point. That's just simply the construct that has been built around us to keep people working, to keep people poor. Every single thing that you see in your 3D is a past energetic alignment that you aligned yourself with. Say that you're homeless and you want to be a millionaire, but you don't want to work. You can do that. Say you ride a bicycle, but you want to be driving a Bentley. You can do that. Quantum physics, all you have to do is energetically align yourself with the frequency of already having that. This is where it gets hard for people. A lot of people have a really hard time feeling like they have something that they don't actually know what it feels like to have it. Also, if you have limiting beliefs surrounding the thing that you want, making it very hard for you to believe, truly believe that you actually have that. And it's also very hard for people to ignore their 3D reality and basically erase that from what they're actually believing that they have. For example, if you were homeless, maybe it would be hard for you to feel like a millionaire when you look around you and you don't see the life of a millionaire. But that's what the code cracking is all about. And this is where quantum physics really comes in. You truly have to shift your entire mentality to 150,000% believing that you have the thing that you desire. That is why I always say delulu the salulu, because you should be living in a state of delusion. People who disagree with you are stuck on an energetic level that has been constructed around them for their entire lives. People in power have mastered this. Very successful people have mastered this. Some people use it for good, some people use it for bad. The people that use it for bad are the ones that don't want anybody else to learn how to do it too. A lot of people are also stuck in the way of it's too good to be true. Baby, life isn't supposed to be hard. But what has been built around us has been designed to be hard.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Here we have a full tutorial on how to end up living under a bridge, but with high energy frequency. Life is very simple. When you're young and attractive, You can become a sugar baby to an old man with money who pumps you every night and buys you whatever you ask for in return. That's what this woman is selling as if it were quantum wisdom. Don't work, just align yourself with the Bentley and the designer handbag. Of course, this is quantum physics. Because according to her, millionaires don't want you to know this. They all got rich without working, just by manifesting. If I had a sugar mommy paying my bills too, I'd also go around saying, life doesn't have to be hard. The truth is, she's not with the right old woman. I mean, the right vibes.
So I'm going to give you a technique and a very good example on what you're going to try to do to manifest what you want and to actually quantum leap to the reality of you already having it. I have mastered this to the point where my manifestations are now instantaneously. You do not have to wait 6 months, 3 years. Some people say whatever. You do not have to do that. You only have to wait if you believe that you have to wait before receiving your desire. Say you want to be a millionaire, but you have the mentality of, okay, I want to be a millionaire. So I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to become a millionaire. Right there is an issue. That is a limiting belief. You will be waiting forever to become a millionaire. Or you're going to be putting a lot more work in than you need to be doing to become a millionaire. If you believe that you have to do something before receiving, then that is how it's going to be set up for you. But if you believe that you will receive simply by existing, then you will receive it instantaneously. If you want to have a certain amount of money, let's say it's $20,000, then the technique that you are going to do is shift your reality into believing that you already have that $20,000. Something that you can try is closing your eyes and envision yourself picking up your phone and opening your bank app. However much is in there now, I want you to visualize $20,000 more than you already have. I want you to visualize what it would feel like having that $20,000 extra in your bank account. And you truly have to feel those emotions, that excitement, whatever it is that you would feel by having whatever that money means to you, feel it. If you gotta cry, if you gotta jump for joy, whatever you gotta do, whatever feeling you have, a sigh of relief, it doesn't matter. Whatever feeling that would mean to you, feel that when you were imagining that. And then I want you to affirm, I am so grateful that I have this $20,000 extra dollars. You are going to shift your subconscious mind into believing that you already have it right now. You are going to affirm, I am in the timeline where I received $20,000 simply by existing. And then you are going to let it go. You are going to release your limiting beliefs surrounded by money. After you do that, if you sit there and you think, oh, well, I'm actually not going to get that, or, oh, how am I going to get it? You can't think about the how, you can't think about the when. You just have to know that it's there. You have to know that you already have it. Walk throughout your life excited that you have that $20,000 extra. Ignore the reality. Ignore your 3D. You have $20,000 extra dollars. Believe it. Feel it. Imagine we're on FaceTime. Honey, I am so excited for you. You $20,000 richer. And all you did was exist. Live your best life. I want you to envision what you would do with that $20,000 as well. But after you've done that, you're going to release and let it go. And you're just going to go throughout whatever you're doing so happy that you feel $20,000 richer. And baby, it'll come to you. Once you fully believe it, that's when the magic starts shifting behind the scenes to bring that to you. With everything being energetically aligned, if you are on that frequency, you have to have what is on that frequency. As if you're trying to listen to a station on the radio, all you have to do is tune to that frequency. You have to release the negative thoughts that are surrounding the ability of money and the attachment. If money is a scarce place in your mind, then it will be scarce in your life. If money is an abundant vessel that you are so fruitful to already have, you will just get more of it. Try this. I hope it helps. It will.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
Guys, do you feel that? $20,000. I tried it too. Checked my account, and there were so many zeros I never saw a single one. This is the quantum magic of modern women. Be attractive, get a sugar daddy, and then say the money came through vibes. They live in a parallel reality where showing off their bodies on social media makes them entrepreneurs. They don't work, don't invest, don't create anything. But they feel like millionaires because someone else paid for it all. So let's manifest. Every man who sees this, hit the like button. Let's get this video to 1 million views. Tap into that quantum energy.
Women.
So my deadbeat baby daddy called me after 2.5 months.
A little backstory on him. He and I have a 1-year-old daughter together, and he's never met her by choice. So I filed for child support when she was 2 months old because he still didn't meet her and he was not helping financially. So this little no contact thing lasted about 2.5 months before he just hit me up. Basically, he works for this company where you go door to door and you try and sell home security cameras, which requires him to be out of state, apparently. So I answer the phone and I'm like, hi. So he starts the conversation with like, hey, I'm going to be coming back there to start paying child support or some shit like that. I don't know. And I'm like, good. Finally. This man has, he has the motherfucking nerve to be like, I've done my research and I've talked to so many people. The courts just benefit off me paying you. So can we please get our own lawyers and go through them and you take me off child support? As if I'm ever going to do you a favor. Little boy, let me make something so clear. This man has not met my child. He has not given me a penny off the street to help with her. But he has the audacity to call me asking me for a favor? Me? Oh, baby, I don't think so. Why would I ever take you off child support? He knows they're coming for him, and he's scared.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
When a man doesn't know his daughter, hasn't been present at any point during the pregnancy or the first year of her life, you already know what's going on. Everything here points to a one-night stand. She herself had to explain to him what he does for a living. If there had been a real relationship, even a minimal one, he would have been involved from the start. I don't support irresponsible men. If it's his child, he should step up. But it seems the man does have a lawyer. Watch the next video.
Let me crash out for like 2 seconds. To the fake ass, weird ass hoes, and I said it, you're weird hoe, that fuck with my kid's father that literally watch me. Thank you for being a mad, hating ass hoe and still watching me because guess what, bitch? Your hate, your comments on these fake profiles do nothing at all besides put money in my pocket. The fact that you find joy in me not being able to see my children is sickening. Like, you're sick. There's something wrong with you. You're supporting a guy who illegally stole his children and cut off communication. You're supportive of that, and that's weird. And for the motherfuckers who keep commenting, there's more to the story, tell the motherfucking story yourself then, bitch, because there's not more to the story. Tell his balding ass 33-year-old self to get on this fucking app and tell the story then. If there's more to the story, tell him to get on here. Other than that, you can take your lips and I'll bend over for you and you can kiss my motherfucking ass.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
This is, without a doubt, the mother of the year, and I say that with all the irony in the world. Brothers, remember, for a man to gain custody, the mother has to have serious issues. The system always favors the woman, so if he won, something major must have happened. And just by hearing how she talks, insults, threats, zero self-control, you can already imagine how hard it must be to deal with her. And of course, as always, she plays the victim. But as the saying goes, if Little Red Riding Hood tells the story, the wolf will always be the villain. There's more to the story, yes, but she doesn't tell it because it doesn't suit her. What we're seeing here is a woman incapable of taking responsibility, now throwing hate at everyone who doesn't validate her version. The problem is never her.
Women.
But I didn't order food for your son, though. I ordered food for me and you.
But you know, me and my son is a package deal. We come together. If you want to date me, then you're obligated to take care of my son. Like, I'm gonna go home to him. What
Are we gonna do something? Are we gonna do something else after this?
What is he supposed to? We supposed to what?
Are we gonna do something else after this date? Since I'm ordering all this food.
What you want to do? You not. What you say? Hold on. Huh. I know you don't think because you ordered food, you think you about to get some.
Like, come back to my place for a little bit. Just chill. We can just chill.
What I look like?
We can just chill, watch a movie. It ain't that nothing serious. Like,
I'm not going back to your place after the first date.
why?
Because I don't have to.
I mean, I didn't spend $80 on you, and you can't just come chill.
$80 is nothing.
But
Like this, $80 is really cheap, and now you can explain it. You shouldn't be dating for real if $80 is too much. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying though, like, you can't just come chill with me for a little bit. You gonna be like that? You gotta go somewhere else.
No. I mean, you can put the phone down.
All right, you can just go ahead and go now. 'Cause I'm tired of it. You must be paying for it because I'm finna leave. You can pay for it.
I'm not paying for it.
All right,
You asked me out on a date,
I'll see you later.
but you.
Hey, bro. What? Oh my God!
Anyone who gets involved with a single mother needs to understand one thing very clearly. It's a package deal. No matter how much they say at first that the kids won't be involved, they always end up being part of the equation. This same woman even said it herself. My child and I come together. If you date me, you're also obligated to take care of my child. So brother, if you're not ready to take on a burden that isn't yours, it's better not to start at all. Now, let's also be fair. Inviting a woman out to eat, especially to a fast food place, doesn't mean she owes you anything, least of all sex. But what is embarrassing is the kind of men she chooses. The conversation, the attitude, the entire dynamic reveals a pattern. He's a classic Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table. Then she wonders why she has kids from multiple men. The answer lies in the kind of dates she accepts and the type of men she gets involved with.
Let's talk non-toxic co-parenting. So I get comments all the time because the way that we choose to co-parent and it's not toxic, but we don't technically have like societal norms in our relationship, that it's confusing to her. We choose to be friends. We don't have to be, but that's how we're choosing to raise our daughter. So because we don't have like restricted time, it is fairly 50 custody. However, if it weren't to be our time and we want to see our daughter, neither of us are going to say no because that's our child. I get it. It doesn't work for everybody, but that's what works for us. We still do things all together because a failed relationship doesn't mean that we're not a family. Me and her dad are going to be her family for the rest of her life. It's not going to be confusing. It's going to be her normal because this is all she's ever going to know. But you want to know what is confusing? Wondering why mommy and daddy can't be in the same room together. Wondering why all they can do is scream at each other and can't positively communicate. Wondering why mommy and daddy couldn't put their differences aside for their sake. I grew up in a very toxic household and my parents could not get it together to save their lives. So I always knew that no matter what happened, my child would not go through that. And her dad was on the same understanding of that. So you can call it confusing. You can say that you don't agree with it because it's not a societal norm. However, my child's going to always look back and know that mommy and daddy did everything in their power to give her the best possible quality of life. We just choose to view co-parenting as collaboration and not competition. That can vary from person to person and situation to situation. This is how we choose to raise her. And we know she's going to look back and love the life that we were able to give her, even if we weren't together.
Oh, hell no!
Personally, I believe setting boundaries is healthy. I agree with respect and spending balanced time with the daughter, but I also think it's important to keep some distance. It all sounds nice on paper, 50-50 custody, doing everything together, but that only works until one of them starts dating someone new. Because once a new partner enters the picture, it's no longer so comfortable to see your ex doing everything with you like nothing's changed. And she even says it herself, they still act like a family, not like two separate individuals. That's going to cause problems down the line. What happens when he likes another woman, and she doesn't get along with the new stepmom? Or if he starts feeling uncomfortable seeing her with another man? Without boundaries, jealousy and conflict will show up. And yes, I'll say it plainly. It seems to me like she still has feelings for the father of her daughter. That constant closeness, that need to defend the dynamic so much, there's definitely something there.
Okay, but you know what's not talked about enough? Co-parenting after an abusive relationship and how that abuse continues with your co-parenting. Kind of at the stage where at what point do you kind of just start putting yourself first and say enough is enough? Because I never wanted to be that co-parent that always put myself first above my child's needs. And I do the best that I can to make sure that my son knows that his father loves him very much. Never wanted to be that parent that couldn't even be in the same room as my co-parent, but it's getting so bad that I can't do it anymore. At what point do I say, no, we're going to have separate parent-teacher conferences. We're going to have to do this separate. I feel bad being that way because I don't want my son to grow up thinking that his parents can't be in the same room. But also, how much more am I supposed to take of being verbally abused by someone who I'm supposed to co-parent with? Get enough of it on an app. I try to minimize having it done to me in person. Today we had a meeting at my son's school. We had to do it together. We sat there for the meeting, waited all the way until we were alone to start maintaining control and verbally abusing me and all of this stuff. And to the point where I had to walk outside and wait for my son to get out just to get away from him. I'm really at a crossroads now because I don't know what to do. I don't want to be selfish and put my needs above my son's. But at the same time, it's like, I also shouldn't have to deal with that. My son's only 5, so I have a long way to go.
The most important decision in a woman's life is choosing the right man to be the father of her children. Because if you choose wrong, your life becomes tied to that man forever, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you separate, stop speaking, or can't stand him. The truth is, you now share the most important thing, a child. And that connection lasts for decades. But many women ignore this. They jump in without thinking, and then complain about the very choice they made. But they see the signs. They know the guy is a classic Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table except his seed. And yet, they have multiple kids with this kind of man because he gives them that emotional roller coaster. Later, when they're tired of that cheap dopamine, all they're left with is the downside. Then you hear them blaming men for everything, when it's their own bad decisions that brought them there.
Since we've talked about older men who date younger women and substantially younger women, let's talk about older women who date younger men. And I am one of them. I don't make any effort to hide that. I do that for 2 reasons. Number one, physical. Men my age, at least in my area, don't age well. They don't take great care of themselves. They don't stay physically active. I do take care of myself. I do stay active. So it's basic principles of attraction. And then I'm not willing to compromise on the lifestyle that will keep me feeling and looking my best. Number 2, it's mental. The men my age that I encounter in my area are battle scarred, and they're not willing to make an effort to learn and heal from it. They don't have a sense of humor. They don't have a zest for life and intellectual curiosity. They're a drag. That said, 10 years younger, that's my general cutoff for long-term consideration. And that's what I think older men and younger women should observe to keep things fair and not an uneven power dynamic. That's based on what I have seen and also other people I know. 10 years is a window where 2 people can be on a level playing field because they've had similar life experiences. Younger than that, it's possible that they haven't. And that's not fair. It's an uneven power dynamic. And quite frankly, for me, it's just not interesting. Anything more than a 10-year age difference, I have done that, but it's for a fun time, not a long time.
Stop it. Get some help.
The first thing is that a man is in his prime between the ages of 28 and 45. If he takes care of himself, that range can extend even further. On the other hand, a woman begins to decline physically starting in her 30s, and if she reaches 40 without taking care of herself, it really shows. This isn't cruel, it's biology. But of course, when an older man dates a younger woman, he gets accused of all sorts of things. Yet when a woman does the same, it's seen as empowerment. And you said it yourself. You date men 10 years younger, even younger ones, just for fun. What could a guy in his 20s want with a 43-year-old woman? Just intimacy, not a family. You know the train to build a home has already left. So don't criticize what you yourself do. After all, you like a bit of youthful collagen too.
I just got back from a first date with a guy I met online, and I swore off online dating like a year ago, but I just had this feeling I should try again, and it wasn't bad. It was actually like I matched with one guy. I think I'm done with the app because they're all gross. Like he was a good match, and it was a good date. I had a really nice time. Great guy. He was cuter than his pictures. Like I would go out with him again. I just feel, I don't know if it's my age or the fact that I have 3 kids, but I am just so set in my ways now. I feel like there's just like a comfort level to my life now that I feel like it would take a lot for me to change that. And I would love a partner, you know, I would love what are my animals doing right now? Like what is happening? I would love some companionship, you know, somebody to share my life with. But it's just like I feel like I'm a lot. I feel like can we not? Can we not? Thank you. I feel like, you know, look at I've got a zoo. I've got a freaking zoo here. I've got a zoo. I've got 3 kids. I have my past. I have my ex-husband. I have, you know, my dysfunctional family. I have my, you know, my story, my sobriety. Like I'm not a floaty 18-year-old. I'm like a full-on grown-ass adult with this like full life. But mostly, you know, it's more of like I don't know if I'm insecure about that. I guess I'm just figuring it out, but I am so set in my ways now. It's like, you know, I love my mornings. I love my evenings. I love the way I eat my own food. I love my space. I love putting on my makeup alone. So it's like, how does somebody fit into all of that? And they've got their own stuff, you know, if they're a single dad, there's just so much. It takes so much work. Jesse, seriously. And I just don't know if I have what it takes. Maybe do any other single moms out there feel this way? Like it would take a lot of work, a lot of effort. Is it worth it? Like, I guess so. I guess relationships are worth it. I don't know. It's a lot. I'm a lot. I'm a lot. I've got 3 kids and 4 animals and a hot ass. So that's a lot.
Oh, hell no!
You said it yourself. You have your sobriety, 3 kids, and 3 pets. That's not a life. That's a battlefield. Right off the bat, anyone can see the level of chaos in that household. And you admit it. I'm a lot. Woman, that's not something to say proudly when you're looking for a partner. That's a warning sign for anyone stepping in to think twice. And yes, may God be with the man who dares to get involved there. Because that guy will need to be an elite warrior. 3 kids from other men, with all the financial, emotional, and logistical weight that brings. And you, at 40, at the wall, expecting someone to come and fit into a life that's already overflowing. Brother, I wouldn't take on that mess even if it were handed to me for free. If you want it, good luck. But be ready, because what's waiting for you isn't love, it's survival.
Women.
What's your age? 43. Are you single? Kinda, sorta, but not really, you know what I'm saying? I'm married to the game, brother. At your age, have you ever proposed to a woman before? Nah, I would never do that. If I ever thought about getting married, we gonna get a shaman or something and do a tribal ritual. I'm not signing no paperwork with the government with my money and my greatness. Well, why do you as a man feel like marriage is a risk? As a businessman, you know, you gotta go off the numbers. 60% of marriages end in divorce, and they always initiated by the woman, like 70%. So off those numbers alone, I would never jeopardize my greatness, my millions, my glory to that piece of paper. So you don't marry a woman, but you're with her long term. What happens next? I mean, we just living life. We gonna go with the flow. You know, if she want to move around, she can. I'm not holding nobody hostage. You know what I'm saying? See, that what happens. That's like the click cage somebody in when they get that paperwork. No, we living free out here. To the 43-year-old woman watching this now, who would go, "You're not taking anybody serious without marriage." What would you have to say to that? I say, God bless them. You know, if you're 43 and you're a woman and you're complaining about marriage, that means you already past your prime. That is a fact. As a 43-year-old man, I got better with life. I'm better right now as 43 than I was at 23. I'm going to keep getting better. I'm going to keep getting more money. I'm going to keep looking better. I'm going to keep getting more women. It ain't going to never stop for me. Or for a woman that age, God bless her. She going to need it.
Absolutely. This man just delivered a sermon. You all should be typing amen in the comments. He's not going to end up living in a nursing home at 60 because a woman took everything he built. With 70 to 80% of divorces being initiated by women, marriage today is clearly a financial mistake for many men. And he's absolutely right. You can live together, give yourself to a woman like a husband would, share your life, your space, your love, but without signing a contract she can later use as a weapon against you the moment she gets bored or simply doesn't feel in love anymore. Like he says himself, this isn't hate, it's business. And as a man who understands numbers, he doesn't bet where he knows he could lose everything. It's that simple.
Here it is. I'm 40 and I'm single. How are y'all doing this? Oh, I have some stories though. Like, where are people's morals and values these days? Where are mine? Really? Maybe I'm worried about the wrong thing. I mean, honestly, I don't even know what I'm worried about. Maybe that's the problem. Am I done healing? Am I ready for this? Yeah, I'm just gonna get back to work and stop thinking about this. You know what's going to be funny is when I watch this again next year to see how things have changed or unfolded. Peace.
Welcome to the wall. When I hear a woman say, "Have I finished healing?" I already know what's behind it. Clearly, someone sent her to therapy, and we all know who the top reason for therapy is: Chad. That guy who brings nothing but an emotional roller coaster. He lifts her up, drops her, breaks her, and then walks away. And now, at 40, alone, she's left wondering what she did wrong. After that, the plan is always the same. Go looking for the beta provider. The man she might not be all that attracted to, who doesn't give her butterflies, but who does offer stability, a roof over her head, and a certain level of emotional and financial security. She's not looking for love anymore. She's looking for compensation. And brother, if you're not that guy with money and the patience to carry the weight of someone else's therapy, walk away.
Happy Sunday. I just got in the car from sitting out by the pool for a little bit. But I did get all of your well wishes, your good lucks, your messages, and I thought that was really sweet of y'all. So since you're invested, I'll tell you how it went. I don't regret going and meeting this person, but he's not my person. We did not quite align like I thought we were going to, or like I thought we did. There are just some things you don't pick up on until you're in person, and I'm glad I didn't waste weeks on end before I decided to go, and had a whole lot of time invested. I have no regrets. I had a good time. You know, there was no like hard feelings or anything like that. Just not my person. So, probably going to take a little bit of a break. I have it set to taking a break right now. I'm not in a super big hurry, but I'm kind of over being single at the same time. I don't want to be a serial dater either. So I'm going to take a minute. I got a couple of concerts coming up in the next 2 weeks. I think I've got 4. So I'm going to go have fun with my friends and do my thing. And then maybe I'll pick up again in a couple weeks and try again. But, for now, this is it. Anyway, y'all have a great Sunday and a great week, and make the best of everything, right? Bye, y'all.
A 40-year-old woman who still has the mindset of a 25-year-old then wonders why men don't take her seriously. She dates someone, doesn't align, discards him, and jumps back into the cycle. Meanwhile, she's going to concerts, having fun with friends, like she's still in her 20s, repeating patterns that no longer match the stage of life she's in. It's always been said that hobbies change with age, just like priorities. But when a woman at 40 is still in that mindset of going out, experimenting, rejecting, and taking time to see what happens, men notice that. It's not that she has no value. It's that her approach is still juvenile. And with that outlook, it's hard for anyone to take her seriously. That's why she ends up at the wall. And we all know, the wall doesn't forgive.
Why does everyone have to be so outdoorsy? I'm single, I'm dating, I live in Utah, and it's a very outdoorsy kind of state. Got the mountains, so snowboarding and skiing. There's mountain biking, there's hiking, there's kayaking. There's just so many like fun outdoorsy things you can do here. Your girl does not ski or snowboard. I don't mountain bike, but I swear every other man's dating profile says that they're looking for a ski buddy, a snowboarding buddy, a mountain biking buddy. I want to do that. Now listen, I'm outdoorsy in a different way. I like summer sports. Like I like to go kayaking and paddleboarding, things like that. But skiing and snowboarding, I literally finally put on my dating app profiles, like I put, I don't ski. I think all these men that are looking for adventure buddies, they all just need to be friends. Like they all need to like hang out and meet each other, like form a little group, and like they can all do that. Then they can just take us on nice little dates. I'm from Texas. I don't ski.
This reminded me of the classic contradiction. The woman who wants a well-kept, structured man with clear goals, while she herself is completely liberal. Trying to find a partner in spaces that don't share your values will only lead to frustration. In Utah, for example, people tend to be very religious, and the men are also big into winter sports. If you don't like that, why are you trying to find a man from that area? That's why so many women make poor choices. Why in the end, men are the ones who pay the price. Because women say they want one thing, and then it turns out they want the complete opposite.
Okay, therapy is expensive and I need to express myself a little bit because I'm not having a great day and it's just the morning time in the beginning of the year. I was just reflecting a lot this morning and I just feel like a failure. I don't know how to not have this feeling, but I'm 26. I've never been in a relationship before. I didn't go to college. So I don't have like a career. I don't have jobs to apply for that are like bigger jobs, you know what I mean? I know how to drive, but I am terrified of driving in highways, so I don't really go out that much. I just feel so behind in life. I feel like I should be able to say that I accomplished more stuff that I have done, which isn't a lot again. And I needed to express this to someone because honestly, I just don't have anyone to talk about this. And today's a hard day. I wish I could come in here as I usually do and be positive all the time, but sometimes I just need to cry a little bit. And yes, I do record myself when I cry because I like talking to someone or the camera or feeling like I am talking to someone I don't even know. But I just feel so lost because I don't even know what I want to do. And I don't even know. I don't know anything. That's the thing. And today I feel sad and I feel down, very, very down. I hope I can look back on this video later on. Don't even know. And hopefully I will be in a much better place. I don't even know. I just...
I want you to take a good look at this so you can understand what modern feminism has caused. Whenever we hear about happy, single women, they always show us the successful ones, the career-driven, the travelers. But they never talk about cases like this young woman, 26 years old, no education, no career, no partner, no clear purpose in life. A woman who might have found meaning as a wife and mother, but society told her that wasn't enough. That choosing that path made her weak or submissive. And since any man who expresses a traditional opinion is immediately labeled a misogynist, many have stopped speaking out and stopped pursuing. The result? Men are stepping away from the game, and women like her end up feeling lost, empty, directionless. There's a lot of talk about the male loneliness epidemic, but no one mentions that female loneliness is just as bad, if not worse. Because while men tend to adapt to being alone, many women like her end up crying in front of a camera because they have no one to talk to. That, too, is a consequence of this modern narrative. And yes, brother, feminism doesn't empower them. It sends them straight to the wall.
You know, what gets me about the modern day situation between men and women is I don't think men understand how many of us were ready to settle. Let me repeat that. I don't think men understand how many of us were ready to settle due to growing up and idealizing love. Like, I would have settled for one good experience with a man because I didn't know any better. I would have thought that one good experience was above and beyond. And that's what we mean by like nice guys benefit off of the abuse of bad men, because one good experience would have been enough. One time where I wasn't cheated on or left in the dust or ridiculed or verbally and mentally abused or physically threatened. Just one guy to be kind. That's all it would have taken. And men fumbled that so fucking hard that now we have a male loneliness epidemic. I mean, like, the bar was in hell and men were limbo dancing with the devil and they still couldn't reach but then the disconnect came where women and like me, a lot of us, we started just wanting to grow ourselves. And I'll be honest, as a former pick-me, it started as like, well, maybe I'll get better and then a man will love me. And then it was kind of like a resigned of like, well, no man's gonna love me, so I might as well give it. But then I really, really did start to love myself. And then I went to therapy. And then I saw people on here like Drew. And Drew, I would take Drew's videos into therapy and I would, talk about a guy in the past. And then, now here I am 2 years after starting therapy. And I can confidently say I am disgusted by the average male's lack of everything.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Look at how bad things have gotten in our society. A woman who isn't attractive, who has no money, who has nothing to offer but complaints, saying with complete confidence that she finds the average man repulsive. Seriously? When 70 to 80% of men are average. But of course, it's always the man's fault. Then they blame us for the so-called male loneliness epidemic, when in reality, that epidemic was caused by the unrealistic standards they themselves imposed. Today, men are expected to meet the 666 of the apocalypse: 6 feet tall, 6-pack abs, and a 6-figure income. The 666 from hell. All of that just to settle for a woman who's a 2 in looks, has no financial stability, a history of 10 chads behind her, and carries herself like she's the prize. With that kind of attitude, it's no wonder men are choosing to focus on their goals, their careers, their purpose. Because if that's the market, it's better to build alone than pay such a high price for so little.
Just an overwhelming lack. They're just lacking in everything. And then I think back to, 2, 3 years ago, who I was just begging for love, begging for one guy to be nice. And I just want to hold her and hug her. And that's now like why when like I have friends who still date and they'll be like, oh, he was so nice to me. And I'm like, bestie, I love you, but we got to remember that's the bare fucking minimum of someone liking you. If someone likes you, of course they're nice to you. I could not wrap my head around that before, like if he's so nice to me, that's such a big bonus. No, if he likes you, he's supposed to be nice to you. Like that's, I was sitting here thinking about the disconnect this one and just like how funny it is that women grew up. I mean, we grew up with Prince Charming. We grew up being told marriage is the end all be all, even though we are one of the first 2 or 3 generations to not have to depend on marriage. We still wanted marriage, and men fucked that up so bad. On another note, I'm curious as to when men started lacking. Because yes, there's been instances throughout history where they lack, but like you look at old school romances, man. Like there's like an artist who was so in love with his wife that he had her wet barefoot prints like installed on their carpet. I want to be someone's muse. I want that type of love. Or like the man, it's like in Georgia, who like built a castle for his queen, and after she died, he still had all these paintings made of her and stuff. Bring back yearning. These men today think basic kindness is enough to install a relationship, and that's because we've been instilled to think that that's enough to install. Install. I think I'm fumbling words. But you know what I mean. They were allowed to get away with bare minimum because for some reason recently we've been like, oh, bare minimum, bare minimum. Anyway, now I'm just rambling, so I'm going to go now. Bye.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
In short, she wanted a man to solve her life while offering nothing in return. These are the same ones who demand equality, but only when it benefits them. If women are fully capable of supporting themselves, then why are we living in a generation where more and more women seek marriage as a form of financial security? Because they don't want to build with you. They want to show up when everything's already done. We're living in a time when more men than ever have lost their homes, half their assets, and even their peace of mind due to divorce. In a country where the divorce system openly favors women, and where 80% of breakups are initiated by them. What bothers many of them now is that men have woken up. We're no longer settling for women who don't respect, who don't care, who don't contribute. We're demanding real equality. If you're not going to work, then bring peace, affection, and stability. Because we're no longer willing to lose everything we've built for someone who thinks that just being a woman makes her the prize.
Women.
There is a male loneliness epidemic because you guys are not being truly honest with yourselves about the fact that y'all don't really like women. You like what we bring to the table. You like what and how we make you feel, but y'all don't actually like us. Women, we naturally pour into each other, give each other compliments, really celebrate all kinds of aspects of every part of a woman, even the dark part. But with men, we have to only show y'all the fucking sunshine, as if that's the only part that exists in us. It's not only light. Feminine energy is very dark. And a lot of the times we don't even get to share that aspect with you guys because y'all are emotional as fuck. Y'all don't know how to react when we share a part of ourselves that's not like what you look like, that the part that you're most comfortable with. And this is why men need to learn how to be a little bit feminine. That doesn't mean you're being gay. That's your problem. Being feminine, women are strong as fuck. So being feminine is, they act like it's a diss or something. Y'all have this shit misscrewed. And y'all really need to get it together or the epidemic will continue and matriarchy will return. The patriarchy is dying. It's dead.
There are things I don't understand either. We keep hearing about a male loneliness epidemic, but the data says otherwise. According to the CPSASEC 2022, there are 69.7 million single women and 62.6 million single men. That's 6 million more single women. And if we exclude LGBT groups from the count, that gap would be even wider. So how is it that men are the lonely ones when it's actually women who are more often without a partner? Simple. Many of them don't want to be wives. They want to be bosses. They want the home to adjust to their lifestyle, not the other way around. And men have noticed. Marriage has become a contract where only one side takes the risk and the other walks away with the reward if it all goes wrong. That's why a lot of men are no longer willing to get married or commit to a woman who doesn't bring respect or the desire to build something together. This isn't about hating women. It's about self-preservation, about not losing everything in a system that no longer protects men. The real issue isn't male loneliness. It's that many women no longer want to take on the role that once brought balance to the family. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Do you think there's a male loneliness epidemic? Why do you think more men today prefer solitude over marriage? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.